Hi, nice to meet you. Meet you in the latest video about the universe made by science and discover. Have you ever asked yourself questions? If a black hole of a coin size struck the Earth, what would happen? Or like the weather on extraterrestrial planets, how terrible? In this video let's explore if a coin-sized black hole hits the Earth in the vast universe. The black hole is probably the most feared god we have ever written. It was virtually invisible to all of humanity's most modern telescopes until it hit certain objects in space. Then we can discover it with huge gravity. There is not any material, even possible light escape from black. If they cross the boundary of a safe distance, in theory we can completely create our own black hole by taking a quantity of matter of sufficient mass enter into a space small enough to distort spacetime. Assuming if you want to turn Mount Everest become a black hole, when you will have to go to this whole mountain about the size of a few atoms. Although the black hole formed in this case may sound small, one thing is for sure: you will never want to stand too close to it. It is estimated that the radius of 10 meters around this atomic black hole there will be gravity equal to the gravitational force at the Earth's surface. Come here, perhaps you have some idea the power of this universe. God is right. Switch to a slightly more imaginative size. What kind of disaster could a black hole with a coin be if it comes close to our planet? And of course the question is posed. There are actually two answers, depending on how we determine the size, the mass, or its diameter. Hypothesis 1. If a black hole has a diameter equivalent to a coin, as I mentioned, an atomic-sized black hole requires amount of matter equivalent to Mount Everest. Therefore, in the case of a black hole with a diameter equivalent to that of a coin, its mass would approximate the Earth. In terms of power, gravity of this coin-sized black hole will be 1 billion times compared to our Earth. If this black hole gets too close to the Earth, it exceeded the Roche limit. The closest distance that two celestial bodies get is the outcome. It will be really tragic for all life on Earth. First of all, Chan affirmed that the blue planet is not simply swallowed by a black hole and disappeared in an instant. The real thing happened. The Earth will be affected by the huge gravity of the black hole and begin to orbit it instead of the Sun. Also, in the meantime, every part of the planet will be separated and pull tiger into the black hole. Meals of this cosmic god will be slowing down. The previous gear then rotates automatically around the Earth's axis. Even so, an extermination will also come. In the end, the remaining material of what used to be the Earth will be turned into molten lava and forming a disk around the black hole. The surprising thing is the Moon will be virtually unaffected. Perhaps it is just an orbit that will be more elliptical than before. The second hypothesis: many black holes have the same mass as a coin. As you know, a coin usually weighs less than 5 grams, hence to compress 5 grams of material become the black god we have very small. It is so small this size difference between black holes with an atom is like the difference between an atom and the Sun. However, you also should not underestimate its strength. Be aware that the black hole will constantly evaporate the available material or smoking back to the universe, called black hole evaporation. It is this evaporation that will reduce the mass and energy of black holes so that no matter how many planets are swallowed, the black hole cannot increase its mass over time. Black holes will shrink and disappear. It is worth mentioning here evaporation in the tiny black hole. It is much more powerful than a big black hole. Back to the penny-heavy black hole, because its size is so small, evaporation takes place so quickly that an explosion is estimated to be equivalent to 100,000 tons of TNT. The power of this explosion, of course, does not break the Earth, but it is enough to wipe everything out of its sphere of influence. How terrible is the weather on extraterrestrial planets? Outside our Earth there exist many planets with seemingly strange weather patterns only on science fiction movies. But they are completely real on our extraterrestrial planets. First on the list, the planets have a super strange weather pattern. Exoplanet HD 189733b. The study of Swiss astronomers indicates alien. HD 189733b has the most severe weather universe, wind speeds up to 8,700 km per hour and the atmosphere to 3,000 degrees Celsius. Exoplanet HD 189733b is a beautiful green dot planet in a pitch-black sea like the Earth. First of all, Alien HD 189733b is quite large and hotter than Earth. It is about the same size as Jupiter and orbiting its host star with Earth's orbit 2.2 days because the orbit is so close. The alien may have a tidal lock, that is, one side of the planet always faces its parent star on the planet HD 189733b. In addition to the winds with super shocking speed on, scientists say the rain on this planet is not water, you are the glass. Rain of thousands of deadly cuts. Although this planet is blue but not the result reflected from the ocean like on Earth, but due to the atmosphere of the planet consists of clouds intertwined with silica particles. Carbon planet. In our green planet, carbon really only occupies a very small part, about 0.1% of the Earth's mass. However, at the center of the galaxy, where the source of carbon is extremely abundant, the planets are formed. Very distinctive characteristics here below. We can see what scientists often call carbon planets. Morning sky truly haunted with images of yellow clouds mixed with dark clouds created by soot. Further down into the atmosphere you will see the ocean, not green with full of mosquito water, it is filled with sticks like crude oil and asphalt. The motley planet's surface is a vestige of giant methane balloons. The weather here is not so nice either. It rained oil and asphalt, but there is an interesting thing in places where there is ample carbon and inclement weather. This is truly a planet of diamonds and gems. Neptune. On Neptune one can see jet streams of motion constantly moving around the planet with frightening speed. Jet stream pushes frozen clouds towards the point. Great dark, also known as the planet's black hole, creates storms with wind speeds of up to 1,500 miles per hour. This speed is twice the speed required to break the sound barrier and obviously exceeded the limit. Human suffering. Someone who accidentally falls on this planet will be quickly torn apart by the terrible winds and disappear forever, leaving no trace. There is still a huge question for scientists: the energy that Neptune controls his hurricanes comes from in the solar system. By about the distance this star is farther away than the distance from the Sun to Pluto, and the heat from being relatively weak inside planet 51 Pegasi b. On this planet is taken from the name of the Greek hero Bellerophon, who domesticated the horse Pegasus. This gas giant is 150 times the size of Earth and is composed mainly of hydrogen and helium. Bellerophon fire pan along with its light is always maintained at temperatures above 1000 degrees Celsius. With that heat it maintains a strong convective airflow in its atmosphere. The lighter hot air, which ascends the heavier colder air, creates winds at a speed of 1,000 km per hour. This background temperature also ensures that there is no water at all, even any steam can exist, and of course there is no rain. This makes up the main characteristics of this planet. Such terrible heat does iron on the hot planet, and evaporation creates huge iron clouds similar to the steam clouds on the Earth, and the difference here is that those clouds will then produce molten iron showers falling on the surface of the planet Coro Exo 3b. Until the present time this is the largest dense planet and the highest density known to people. Its size is approximately the size of Jupiter, but its mass an estimated 20 times Jupiter. It is more than 2 times thicker than lead. With such pressure, if you were to walk on this planet, you would be pulled close to him by Gaia's Mother Earth, unable to lift her legs. If you weigh 180 kilograms on Earth, then you will have about 9 tons of weight on this planet. That also means the atmospheric pressure is so large that it makes you think you are standing at God's heel. Get ready to crush you instantly. It would be equivalent to a few elephants sitting on your chest or head. Planet Coro 7b. Have you ever thought come one day you will become barbecue when your spacecraft accidentally landed on a certain planet? It is entirely possible if unfortunately you fall on this planet. Its surface temperature can vaporize all rock. The soil evaporates, condenses and causes hailstones on the planet's molten lava surface. This planet capital is not a suitable place for life. Worse, its surface is full of volcanoes and lava. Evidence shows that the orbit of Coro 7b is not completely round. Attractive, say, gravity from one of its sister planets can push, and pulling the surface creates friction that heats up the planet's interior. This heat can cause widespread volcanoes on the planet's surface with extremely strong levels of activity. Thank you for watching the video. If you find this video interesting, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe for the latest videos from my channel. Goodbye and see you again.